guys, this video is going to be kind of long, but you will learn a lot if you really pay attention to this video. I will try to move around a bit so you guys can kind of keep up. But other than that, enjoy. How's it going, you guys? Epic here. This is a video basically explaining the importance of basics. When you're starting out, think of it this way. A professional basketball player, soccer player, any professional athlete, I can almost guarantee they didn't just walk on the court, on the field, on the track, whatever, and just start doing what they do like a pro. I'm sure they had to build endurance. They had to start from the basics and work their way up. They had to understand the physics behind it. They had to understand the science, you know. And with understanding that, there comes philosophy. With parkour, if you really get into it and become experienced, you will see there's so much philosophy that's very similar to martial arts. So look at a black belt, a really good black belt, or even like an MMA fighter. They probably didn't walk in the cage their first time and start to fight like they do now. They had to learn drills. They had to build muscle memory to do techniques like there was nothing. I know you guys like really want to just go straight for the flips because that's what you see. All you guys see is like kongs, like double kongs, Kong to precisions off really high drops. You see front flips from roof to roof, things like that. You see these crazy wall flips with twists and things like that. I know you guys want to do that so bad. I totally understand because I was there before. And I just went for things. But if you don't start with the basics, you're more prone for injury than you are, which leads me to safety. Train smart and perform safe is my motto with anybody that I teach. I always try to say, train smart and perform safe. And by perform safe, I mean when you're actually doing a technique, don't just throw it. You never, ever just throw something. You got to control the launch, the variation, whether it's a flip, twist, the vault, whatever, and then the landing. The landing is probably the most important part, and that's probably the most popular thing that everybody forgets when they're going for a technique, is they always forget to land. They just throw a front flip, they just throw a back flip, they just throw a double front flip, and then they just land. But how often do you guys ever really look for the ground when you're doing your side flip? How often do you guys really try to feel your own momentum when you're going for a full twist and things like that? How many of you guys actually break down a technique when you're going for like a cheat gainer or a corkscrew? You really need to understand these things because they're severely important. Let's say I was a new, I'm like, 2 months in, I'm good to go, right? I see this huge jump. I'm like, all right, yes, I gotta do this. Good 10-foot gap, good like 5-foot drop like that. If I get enough momentum, I know I can do this. But there's a small thing in your back, in your mind that says, no, don't do this. You're not ready yet. Listen to that, because I almost guarantee you, you have the rest of your life to go back and do this again. And by that time, you will probably have that drop mastered. You will probably have the technique mastered as far as jumping. You will probably know how to land better. Don't rush it. Just because something's right there in front of your face, do not think that you have to do that right now. Correct that negative moment, because that is when you're more prone for injury. Now, you can maybe prove me wrong and just go for it and then do it okay. That's fine with me. It's not my body. But just know, when I go for something and it's really big and I don't think I'm going to get that day, I train for that. I go back, come back a month later after training for it. Because by that, I will have improved. I will have gained more control. I will have gained more muscle memory, more body control. I would have more understanding of how that move works. When you train like that, you're much better. And when you go back to it, it's going to be easier. And not only that, but similar things to that technique are going to be so much easier. So think of it that way. All right? Now, progression. Building yourself up to something like that. Building yourself up to something that's big. Like a corkscrew. If you think of it this way, if you guys seen Ryan Doyle's corkscrew tutorial, you'll see court. The basic of a court is a cheat gainer. The basic of a cheat gainer could be a butterfly kick. The basic of a butterfly kick could be a cartwheel. Take a technique and break it down step by step. Say, all right, so put movement in 3 or 5 different steps, all right? 5 different phases, 6 different phases, however you need to. That is the biggest thing that I have ever been able to do. Because when I first started, I didn't have anybody nearby to teach me. It was just me. I thought I was the only person doing this, and then I saw 3 run, and I saw the crazy stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's possible? I gotta start doing this now. This stuff is awesome. So I watched the videos, I understood the techniques, I watched them very, very closely. I watched it over and over and over. I went back the next week, the next day, and rewatched the same video, the same spot in that same video, and then I just kept drilling that technique. I went to the gym, practiced, and if I didn't have a gym, or if I didn't have access to the gym, if it was closed, I would go outside and just work on some basics. Because when you go back to the basics, you gain better control, you gain better muscle memory, you gain a lot of everything, a lot of experience. So anytime you guys are like, you guys have done a lot of free running, you're doing a lot of big stuff now, but then you're like, I don't know where I'm gonna go from here. But I think this is as big. This is as good as I'm gonna get. When you get to that point, when you feel like giving up, go back to basics. I promise you, go back to basics, and you'll be that much better when you go back to the flips, the twists, the crazy stuff. Because that's what I do, and look how far I've gotten so far. And I found out that I've actually progressed faster that way. So take that knowledge, apply it, take great care, and stay positive. That was perfect timing.